I think it should be fine now. I'm so sorry, everybody, for the technical difficulties. It's our first time working with all this, brand new technology, and it might be a little hard for us. I'm not 100% used to all of this, so we've been, working hard to try to get back into the connection, back into everything, and thank you for your patience. Welcome back, and hopefully this stays like this and we don't have no more technical difficulties towards the end of the show. Hopefully everything, God willing, stays smooth sailing. Brandon, welcome back. Welcome back.
Hi.
Welcome back, Brandon.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, guys.
It's our first time doing all of this, so even though we've been preparing for a whole long time, it's still a hassle. It's still a hassle on doing all of this because, doing our thing and things pop up, it is what it is. So back to what we was talking about. I would like to thank Father for doing his nice little introduction to our show. And now we're going to go into the thick of things, which is my favorite part because we've been planning this for a whole long time.
Yeah.
So the meat and potatoes. A la gente de español yo quiero hacer una mucha disculpa. Una disculpa a todo el mundo porque tenían algunos problemas, técnicas que los otros estábamos tratando de resolver. Es nuestra primera vez que nosotros estamos haciendo algo con tecnología avanzada así. Y ¿sabes? Nos dio un poquito de problema de tratar de empezarlo de nuevo, pero aquí estamos, gracias a Dios, ya hemos resolvido el problema, la situación, y estamos listos para reanudar nuestra programación y ahora vamos a continuar con lo que estábamos hablando. Okay, so we've been talking from the beginning about all the tough times that we've gone throughout this whole entire year that just passed.
Yeah.
Right, Brandon?
And more that we haven't even said.
And more that we haven't even said because there's a whole lot of much more of what, went on,
Mm-hmm.
But so we try to incorporate all of that, like all the tough times that went on throughout the whole year with everything with sicknesses and people losing jobs in school and work and political and everything and everything. And we try to look up and we were like, what Bible verse or what story can we tell that kind of relates to us being, sad and being tired and being depressed and just not feeling it because of what's going on. So, what did we look up, Brandon?
Well, we looked up a couple of Bible verses. It's a lot because we all about the Lord.
We're all about the Lord. Okay, so we found a little
So,
story. We found a little story about St. Paul.
oh yeah.
So St. Paul, as we know, he persecuted Christians and then he became one of his number one followers. He was number one. Number one. He was the GOAT follower. He was the one that was preaching left, right, and center. He was walking, I don't know, maybe walking around with Jerusalem sevens or something. He's out here walking with his holy Jordans, blessing people up, telling them, this is the story that I'm gonna tell you just because I want you to listen and I want you to be a part of the Lord like I am. Right? Am I right, Brandon, or am I
Yes,
not right?
definitely.
Okay. Para español. Nosotros estábamos tratando de buscar algo en la Biblia que tenía que ver con todo lo que ha sucedido el año pasado. Fue política, fue la enfermedad, fue perdiendo trabajo, fue todo lo que ha pasado mal. Y algo que tenía que relacionar con nosotros, que tiene que ver con las emociones de estar triste, deprimido, cansado y todo lo que estaba pasando. Pues nosotros encontramos algo en la Biblia de San Pablo. Ya muchos saben, o muchos que no lo saben, San Pablo era primero una persona que venía y mataba a muchos de los cristianos. Pero después Dios le reveló la luz y él se convirtió en su fanático número uno. Fue uno de los seguidores de Cristo más potente que uno puede decir. Él iba de lado a lado con su con su Biblia y con su escrito y todas sus cartas que él mandó a todos los pueblos y empezó a predicar y pues empezó a decir, tú sabes, la mayor parte y la gran parte de lo que Dios le reveló a él para que todo el mundo siga en esos mismos pasos y en esos mismos caminos. All right, Brandon. So, can you please read us the Bible verse that St. Paul wrote as a story of his life story to who it is again? To the Corinthians, right?
Yeah.
So his second letter to the Corinthians. So take it away, Brandon, please, and thank you from the Bible.
Yeah. So it's good if you guys want to follow along. It's up to you guys. We're going to the book of Second Corinthians. Second Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 23 to 27.
Okay, awesome. I have my Bible here, my Bible ready
Right.
to go.
So it says, and it's pretty long, so kind of bear with us, all right? It says, I have worked harder, been put in prison more often, been whipped times without number, and faced death again and again. 5 different times the Jewish leaders gave me 39 lashes. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 times I was shipwrecked. Once I spent a whole night and a day adrift at sea. I have traveled on many long journeys. I have faced danger from rivers and from robbers. I have faced dangers from my own people, the Jews, as well as from the Gentiles. I have faced danger in the cities, in the deserts, and on the seas. And I have faced danger from men who claim to be believers, but are not. I have worked hard and long, enduring many sleepless nights. I have been hungry and thirsty, and have often gone without food. I have shivered in the cold, without enough clothing to keep me warm. The word of the Lord.
Thanks
Thanks
be to God. So, in Spanish, pues aquí nosotros tenemos la segunda carta de San Pablo a los Corintios. Nosotros encontramos algo muy, muy especial y muy significativo en el capítulo 11, versículos 23 al 27. Aquí dice, ¿son siervos de Cristo? Yo lo soy más que ellos. Aunque al decir esto hablo como un loco. Yo he trabajado más que ellos. Me han encarcelado más veces que a ellos. He sido azotado más que ellos. Y muchas veces he estado en peligro de muerte. En 5 ocasiones los judíos me castigaron con los 39 azotes. 3 veces me apalearon. Y una vez me apedrearon. En 3 ocasiones se hundió el barco en que yo viajaba y a punto de ahogarme. Pasé una noche y un día en alta mar. He viajado mucho y me he visto en peligro de ríos, en peligros de ladrones y en peligros entre mis paisanos y entre los extranjeros. También me he visto en peligro en la ciudad, en el campo y en el mar, y en peligros entre falsos hermanos. He pasado trabajos y dificultades. Muchas veces me han quedado sin dormir. He sufrido hambre y sed. Muchas veces no he comido. He sufrido por el frío y por falta de ropa. Palabra de Dios.
Te alabamos, Señor.
So, en esto viene significando algo similar a lo que nosotros estuvimos pasando, que en los tiempos de antes y en los tiempos allá en Jerusalén y en todos los lugares que estaban predicando, también le pasaban muchos malos ratos, muchas veces que ellos iban, lo decían cosas, le tiraban con piedra, lo azotaban y a veces hasta mataban a los mismos profetas. Y era algo que era muy, muy difícil para esas personas. Y es algo similar porque aunque sea que no sea nada que fuera tan extremo como lo que está pasando, es algo que uno viene diciendo, ok, ellos pasaron por algo similar, pasaron por muchos malos ratos, y pasaron por esa clase de cosas que hoy en día uno puede decir, si ellos pasaron por algo súper extremo y siguieron hacia adelante, ¿cómo nosotros podemos hacer algo igual a esos tiempos? So, St. Paul, he went through a lot, and we saw that he went through a lot. We saw that he ended up, being whipped 40 lashes, thrown stones at, rocks at. He was getting bodied left, right, and center from every single place that he would go to when he was preaching. So, like
Okay, now go back to USB audio codec.
So is the phone?
Yeah, turn on the phone.
Okay, cool. Okay, guys.
All right. We would like to thank everybody for the second. Was the second or third time? Technical difficulties.
For the second time.
We're trying our best.
Are you guys can hear me? I'm gonna check on the comments. I know you guys are.
Yeah, we're so sorry. Like we're trying our best here, and it's it's kind of not working out here. If you clearly can see this, but we're trying our best. We're trying our best to try to get the message out, even though it takes 15 minutes intermission every single time we go through technical difficulties.
Yeah.
But we're trying our best. We're trying our
Keep
best. And we thank you for for staying with us and for trying your best, to give us all your attention. And that's why we love you guys and thank you for everything.
Yeah.
So back to the show.
Yes.
What is it we were talking about again?
So we're talking about
St. Paul. St. Paul. All right, St. Paul. St. Paul. So we're talking about how the tough times that he did. It was very, very interesting. And with the Bible verse that we read from Corinthians, it's like, if he went through all those tough times, and all those guys went through tough times, trying to preach the word and trying to get the word out. What exactly, can we do that is some sort of similar to what they did, even though like it's very extreme, very, very extreme of what happens to them. Like they will get stoned, they will get bodied left, right, and center. So it's very, 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 very interesting. So, para español, mucha gente viene preguntando si San Pablo le pasó todo lo que le estaba pasando, del lado a lado, de para arriba y para abajo, y le pasó muchas cosas malas. ¿Cómo nosotros podemos cómo podemos superar nuestros problemas y nuestras cosas que nos están pasando a nosotros en la manera similar que le pasó a San Pablo? So, what are your thoughts, Brandon, on that Bible verse and talking about tough times and how can we overcome those tough times?
Yeah, so we always go through tough times, like we mentioned in the beginning, and we've mentioned some things that usually people go through, whether it's youth, adults, or preteens, or whatever type of age you're in. We all go through stuff and hard times, especially since the year 2020. It was really hard. It was hard on everybody because of certain situations. But with that, this Bible verse, it kind of shows us that even the most holiest people have been through like the most hardest times, nobody's perfect, and yet God still makes His own way to come to us and climb with us to that journey.
Hashtag facts.
Even though we're crying, or even though we're let's say we have like knives in our backs, people are backstabbing us, or whether we have people talking about it, whether we're just like really suffering and we're depressed. One thing that I always say, and I like to mention when I'm like in retreats or I give talks, is that Jesus is doing that with us. When He's crying, when we're crying, He's crying with us. When we're sad, He's sad with us. When we just want to be hugged, He's hugging us. And it goes on over and over again. Why? Because that's how much He loves us. That's how much God takes his time to be with us. Every second, every millisecond, he's there for us. And
100%.
and even with St. Paul, someone who, he'd done so many bad things and been through so much, God chose him to be one of his disciples. God chose him to spread his word, and he chooses us. He chooses everybody, and we shouldn't back down from that. So with that, I mean, would you like to start asking some questions?
Well, yeah. So now we got some questions because we're going, all about, Bible verses and all that. But now we're gonna make you guys think. We're gonna make you guys think a little bit, and we're gonna ask some questions. That some of those questions might hit home, because a lot of us have been through the same things this past year. It's been a wild ride, and we all know that. So look. So the first question I want to.
Before we ask the question, there's something that I think is a really good idea, so we can all be focused. If you're in a place where you're distracted, try to go somewhere where it's just you alone. Whether that means to be in the bathroom and your mom or your grandmother or your dad or anyone who's in your house, are there, or think that you're taking a dump or you're using the bathroom. No matter how long it takes, just for these questions, I want you to just go somewhere where it's quiet and it's just you alone. Whether that being in your closet, just
some place where you can try to get at least 5 minutes of peace and quiet, so you can be able to, you be able to think.
And then with that as well, close your eyes when we're asking you these questions, because we really want you guys to really meditate and actually like answer them fully with your whole entire heart, okay?
Okay, so here we go. Okay, pues en español, ahora vamos a preguntar algunas cuantas preguntitas. Y si es posible, trata de ir a un lugar que sea más silencioso para uno poderse concentrar y apreciar estas preguntas que vamos a hacer. Porque nosotros sabemos que en esta pandemia que ha pasado, ha habido demasiadas cosas que han pasado y ha sido nada más totalmente caótico. Pues vamos a preguntar algunas preguntitas que yo creo que puede ser que uno vea en su cel y diga, wow, esta pregunta sí es algo que para mí es algo que significa algo. So, have you ever had one of those days where, the kind of those days where you just think, man, I wish I could just go back in bed and start this day all over again? So, Brandon, has there been any of those days where you just wanted to get back in bed and start the day all over again?
I mean, I had those days so many times. Especially when I was in school. It's like, oh my God, it's so early. Like, I just don't want to do anything. Or it's like when I have so much on my plate and I had to go to this place and then that place and the place. It's like I'm gonna explode. I had those days before, and it was hard, but thank God I got through them. How about you?
It's been a while. It's just, there's been some of those days where I've literally thought to myself, I wish I could just start this whole day or this month or this whole year all over again. I just wish everything goes back to normal, especially with 2020. I know a lot of people were saying this right now. I wish we can go back to normal. Even though it's been really rough, really hard, a lot of people say that. And I say that too, because if we're all feeling the same right now, we just want everything to go back to the way it was. ¿Ha habido uno de esos días que tú te preguntas, si yo pudiera meterme otra vez a la cama y empezar de nuevo? Si yo lo pudiera hacer de nuevo, ¿qué yo haría diferente? Puede ser que muchos de esos días, o muchos de esos meses, o muchos de esos años, especialmente con este año que pasó, pasa igual todos los días, que uno quiere volverse otra vez a la cama y empezar este día de nuevo. o empezar este mes de nuevo, o empezar este año de nuevo. Porque con todo lo que pasó, muchas de las personas quisieran que estuvieran para atrás a la normalidad. Y yo sé que muchos de ustedes pueden decir lo mismo, a la normalidad, aunque sea que sea muy difícil. Estar para atrás a la normalidad es algo súper difícil que uno puede decidir. So what's the second question that you have?
Oh, hold on. And also, if you guys want, and what we would like for you guys to do is like, don't be afraid. Put in the comments. Answer these questions if you feel comfortable, because we want to know, and we're here for you. And we want to make sure that we climb this mountain together.
Exactly.
We want to move this mountain
Because
together.
all of us are a team. All of us are a family, and we're just trying to go on ahead and just do what we do best, and it's just stick together no matter what, whether it's the good time, whether it's the bad times, whether it's the ups, whether it's the downs. Stick together as a team. So the second question,
So the second question is, what are some of the difficult times you or others have faced? Whoa. Yeah.
That's a hard one. That's a very hard
What are some of the difficult times you or others have faced?
When you think about that, a lot of people have had similar stories. Maybe a lot of people have had different stories. But everybody has gone through difficult times in their life, no matter what exactly has happened. And the main focus on this is to try to have faith and try to get the positive out of some of those things that are negative and being a burden on our lives. So, la segunda pregunta viene siendo, ¿cuáles son algunos de los tiempos más difíciles que tú o otros en tu vida han pasado? Muchas veces uno viene diciendo, lo que yo he pasado en mi vida, nadie lo ha pasado. Sí puede ser que pase, pero hay muchas personas que le pasan la mayor parte de las cosas similares. Muchos son diferentes, muchos son iguales de las cosas que han pasado por difíciles. Y nada más lo que necesitamos hacer es tratar de sacarle la mejor parte y lo positivo de cada paso que nos pasa algo negativo. So, the third question, how do you feel when you see the news? How do you feel when you see the news? Seeing the news right now and everything that's going on, whether it's, pandemic-wise, political-wise, stuff going on in our countries, how do you feel when you see the news?
And really think about it too, because in the year 2020, during this whole COVID pandemic, quarantine, I feel as if everyone was so like into the news. Everybody was just like, oh my gosh, the cases are rising. Oh my gosh, I'm going to die. Oh my gosh, what if I'm next? And some people did pass away, and God bless their souls and may they rest in peace. But how do you feel back then when you just saw these cases rising? Like it was 200,000 cases.
It was very scary. It was super scary.
I mean, you couldn't even walk outside without even have a whole hazmat suit on. Like, it was so scary to even witness that. And then on top of that, I don't know if anybody's watching outside of like the Bronx or out of New York,
other states. Yeah,
it was even worse.
Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. You know.
And it was like riots, even like the riots going on, people going crazy for what
stuff.
It's really bad. It's sad. It's scary. It's everything in between,
Bueno, la tercera pregunta que estábamos discutiendo ahora mismo es, cuando uno ve la noticia, ¿cómo ustedes se sentían cuando veían todo lo que estaba pasando en la noticia? La política, la pandemia. O sea, ya para el año que pasó, el 2020, muchas personas estaban súper atentos y estaban diciendo, muchos casos están subiendo y hay más personas que han fallecido y todas las personas que han perdido un ser querido, le extendemos nuestra condolencia y que sus almas descansen en paz. Y con eso, cuando uno está viendo la noticia, ¿qué exactamente viene siendo nuestro sentimiento? Porque hay muchos que estaban súper asustados, estaban con mucha timidez y era algo que era demasiado caótico lo que ha estado pasando. What is the fourth question?
And let's see what some people are saying in the comment section.
Oh,
okay.
Perfect.
So we have Justin Soup. Shout out to Justin Soup.
Justin. Oh yeah.
All right. So Justin said, "I feel disgusted and ashamed. There is no reason why us as young adults should be experiencing
so much
negativity so fast."
That's true.
That is very
That's 100% true. Because a lot of us that are like growing up into our, early teens, late teens, early 20s, we've been through a whole lot right now. Like coming out of middle school, coming out of high school, going into college, studying for SATs and studying for, all the college entrance exams and all that stuff. It's been a whole lot. It's been a whole lot just seeing all that stuff that's going on in our lives, and we're just like, man, it's just crazy, super crazy. Any other comments that you see in there?
Let's see what else we have. So we have shout out to the Soccer Beast. He said, "I feel uncomfortable," or she said, "I feel uncomfortable." Whoever that is, Soccer Beast said, "I feel uncomfortable."
Shout out.
And I feel that's how we all feel. We all feel uncomfortable. We feel disgusted. Why? Because it's like, if we really truly love this world, if we really want, what's one thing that the people in the pageant always says, what they want in this world. If you can give something to the world, what would you want? World peace, love and everything. But yet we don't even take the next step. We don't take that step as one, as a unity, as one nation, to help each other out and get through all this together.
Exactly.
We're always fighting. We're always doing something wrong to the environment, harming it. We're harming each other. But yet we can't even, give some comfort words or listen to anybody. We can't say, "Oh, let me give you $1 if you need it." We can't go outside and
Soccer Beast, call me Adriel.
Call me Adriel. Okay.
A revelation.
So Soccer Beast Adriel. Nice to meet you.
Awesome.
Thank you for tuning in. But as I was saying, yeah, we really say that, we don't like the state that we're in, or we don't like what people are doing, but yet no one is taking that step to actually doing something. One quote that I've heard, and I heard it in pieces. I can't really say it fully, but I believe it was by Gandhi, or was that Einstein? I don't know, but it says, if you want to see something change in the world, be that change. Or it's in those words. If you want to see homeless people, not be homeless anymore. If you want to see the young children or the young youth, the young adults not in gangs. If you want to see young people not dying. If you want to see, the communities more clean, because these streets are disgusting. If you want to see all that, you stand up, make a change, come together. We're done. If you're tired of it, stand up. Do something about it, because all you're doing is just saying, and that's not gonna do anything. That's not gonna do anything. Actions always speaks louder than words. And if you really want to do something, then let's go. That's why we're here. That's why we came to do this talk shows, because we want to hear people out. We want people to listen, tune in, and later on, hopefully, if we can, do something about it within the streets. Right now, all this, like the pandemic and COVID going on, we can't really do that much stuff, but we're doing little by little, and we're taking it easy, but at least we're doing something. And we believe in you, Chris and I, and everyone else who's listening. We believe in all of you guys. We know that you're intelligent. We know that you can go a mile and a half to go do anything to help each other out. But really understand that no matter what, no matter how old you are, your words matter. Exactly. Let's see what else. Anything else? Yesenia Balbuena says, it's really scary and it makes us need more of God in these hard times. That is 100% true.
You know, I know there's a lot of people that are watching us right now that aren't very much in the religious category. I know because a lot of our friends, aren't 100% inside those the ways of God. But we try our best to help each other out, and we try our best to to talk to people without making it a little bit controversial. But we try our best, and we try everything that we can in our abilities to try to help people out, and that's our main motive and our main drive is to help people out regardless of what's the situation, and just trying to talk to them a little bit about the Lord's ways.
Yeah. And one thing too, just to add on, it's like we try our best, but one thing is, are you really trying your best? Are you giving God that time? And we always hear this in church. Are you giving God that 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes just for Him? Because if you want God to intercede, if you want God to make a change, you got to go to Him. He doesn't need to go to you. We're the sinners. He's perfect. We're not.
Mm-hmm.
He can do more with our nothing than we can ever do with our everything. And that is something that we need to take in hand. That's something we need to think about. Because God is there for us, but we're not there going to Him. He has His arms wide open. Jesus has His arms wide open, but yet we're still stepping away. But fear not, it's never too late to redeem yourself. It's never too late to open your hearts up to Him. It's never too late to go to church. It's never too late to not even just go to church. If you don't feel comfortable about going to church, then fine, we have a Bible there. Go open your Bible. Listen to the word of the Lord. You'll be surprised what you hear. You'll be surprised how your life will change after that. Go pray. Get in a corner in your room. Go to your closet. Make that wall. Make that what's that called? What's that word called? That war room. Make a war room, and that war room is where you have your prayers. You have if you have your saints, whether you're Catholic or you have your saints. You have the cross, the crucifix. Anything. Make that one spot your place where you go and you speak to God and you tell Him how you feel. There's no reason that you can't.
Awesome. That is amazing, Brandon. And I see a lot of people saying yeah, it's a hard time. It's a hard time that's going on. But all of us together and with the help of God, we'll get through this. We'll get 100% through this. Some people say, I wish that I could say that all these things that happen and all that we've been hurt, we've just written here and we just said here, just didn't exist. That it would be a lie. Life could be very hard. And we know life could be very hard. And all of that, it just leads us into a couple of quotes that we have before we do our final blessing and final prayer and end it off here. We found a couple nice little quotes that we found that have to do with the tough times and how we could be able to evolve from that.
And don't forget, please, if you feel like you want to say something, like I said, your words matter. Just post it on the comments, and we'll try to get to you and shout you out and give a shout out, and as well just continue to talk with you about what your comments and stuff like that. Let people know how you feel. So you would like to go first, or you want me?
I'll go first. Porque español no he hablado tanto ya desde que estamos hablando ahorita. Bueno, pues estamos hablando de muchas preguntas que nosotros hemos contestado. Hemos estado leyendo varios comentarios que nos han ayudado a comentar muchos de los jóvenes que nos están viendo y muchas de las personas que nos están viendo. Y ahora mismo vamos a leer algunos versículos de la Biblia y algunos decires de algunos de los santos que vienen culminando todo que nosotros hemos estado hablando de cómo podemos encontrar a Dios en estos tiempos muy difíciles. Pues la primera que yo encontré, que me encantó nada más por verlo nada más, fue del profeta Isaías, del versículo 41, capítulo 41, versículo 10. Esto es lo que dice. No tengas miedo, porque yo estoy contigo. No temas, pues yo soy tu Dios. Yo te doy fuerzas, yo te ayudo, yo te sostengo con mi mano victoriosa. Y eso me dio a mí porque hemos tenido miedo de todo lo que está pasando. Dependiendo todo lo que política, otra vez, las enfermedades, todo. Hemos tenido miedo, sí. Pero el Señor nos está asegurando que nosotros no tenemos que tener miedo a nada. Porque Él es siempre, siempre ha estado con nosotros y siempre va a estar con nosotros. No importa si lo que pase, pase lo que pase, siempre está a nuestro lado, siempre está detrás de nosotros, siempre nunca nos deja de querer a nosotros y siempre Él va a estar con su santo mano y su santo manto, siempre con nosotros. La segunda fue de Filipenses capítulo 4 versículo 6. Dice, no se aflijan por nada, sino preséntenselo todo a Dios en oración. Pídanle y denle gracias también. Esta también me gustó a mí porque también nosotros necesitamos un poquito de oración. Nada más diciendo, Dios, yo estoy aquí, gracias por todo lo que me has dado y ayúdame en todo lo que está pasando. Esto es nada más simple palabrita que uno tiene que decir y boom, y ya el Señor te viene ayudando. Porque el Señor, Él nos quiere mucho a nosotros y Él nos ama en todo lo que hemos hecho, en todo lo que hemos dicho. Él nunca para de amar y Él siempre está a nuestro lado y siempre tiene la puerta abierta para nosotros entrar a los pasos y a los caminos de Él.
Amen.
Amen. So what we got in English, my brother? What do we have in English? Because I know the Spanish ones were bomb, but the English ones are bomb as well. So what we got? What we got?
Let's see which one we're gonna choose. All
We
right.
gotta go with St. Augustine because St. Augustine was an OG
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah, we gotta go
St.
with
Augustine was an OG as well. So we have to do that.
All right, let's go. So listen to this one, right? It's from Saint Augustine, and he said, "We must understand then that even though God doesn't always give us what we want, He always gives us what we need for our salvation." Yeah, that was pretty good.
So that one is something similar to the if life gives you lemons, make lemonade out of it. Is that what I was saying? It's something like that, right?
Yeah.
Something along those lines because he not just only gives us what he doesn't always give us what we want. He just gives us the material that we need. So like for example, if you say I want to make a cake, God is not just gonna pop up with your Carvel ice cream cake right in front of you, and you're gonna be like, oh, boom, there's the cake. No, He's gonna give you the eggs. He's gonna give you the flour. He's gonna give you the sugar. He's gonna give you all the utilities and all the utensils you need to be able to make the cake yourself. He's gonna give you everything you need, and boom, you have your cake.
Mm-hmm.
The second quote, or you have more?
Well, I just want to add on too, because like there's one quote there was a quote. So I went to a retreat in St. Anthony's of Padua, and there was this young lady who was speaking, and she said that one thing that stuck to me. She said that God doesn't do half miracles, and that stick to me since that day because it's so true. God doesn't do half miracles. Sooner or later, God is going to answer your prayers. Sooner or later, you're going to see stuff changing. The only thing that you just need to continue doing is push. And what does push means? I'm going to say a whole thing. So push basically means pray until something happens. You continue to pray, and I guarantee you that God is going to answer you. You continue to keep on working and keep on striving to do good, and in the God's eyes, I'm pretty sure something's going to happen, Where it says that God doesn't always give us what we want, He always gives us what we need for our salvation. It's completely true, We may say we want to be rich. We may say that we want a new car. We may say that we want to pass, the next the SAT that we're going to take, or the region exams, or any exam that we take in school.
Or a driving test.
We always pray to God about that, but yet that's the things we want. And something that we don't understand is that you have to really think about what you're praying, You want those things, those are earned, You have to study. You have to continuously motivate your mind, continuously motivating yourself so that you can be able to get those things. God, what He would do, He will make sure that when you get those things, or before you get those things, you realize, why do you really want it? Is that really going to satisfy you? Because what we know, what we understand is that when we die, there's nothing else. There's nothing but our soul going into heaven, and that's only if we make it to heaven. So with that being said, I'm gonna move on to the next. You want to do your quote or the Spanish quote?
No, I already finished both.
Oh, you
Spanish
finished, okay.
quotes.
So
So you could do that.
so we'll go to the other one, and it's actually in the Bible. So if you want to follow along, it's Philippians chapter 4, verse 12 to 13, and it says, "I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation. I can do everything through Him who gives me strength." The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. And so with this, it kind of tells you it's really interesting as well. I love these quotes, and I love the scriptures in the Bible. So I'm gonna read it one more time in case you guys didn't hear. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation. I can do everything through Him who gives me strength. That is actually it's actually pretty cool because that last part, I can do everything through Him who gives me strength. That's actually like, you know how in graduation,
That's like
the cap. What's that called? The cap?
Yeah, the cap and gown though.
Yeah, but the hat. What's the hat called?
The cap.
So it's crazy because I used that quote for my cap for when I graduated, and the reason why I used that is because it was because of my efforts, but it was also mainly because of God that I was able to graduate. It was because of God I was able to graduate high school and as well be able to graduate college. Because of God I was able to gain experience that I would have known that I would gain. Because of God I wouldn't have met the people I have met. Because of God, I wouldn't have had this mindset of knowing what it is to have plenty, or I wouldn't have this mindset of knowing what it is to be needed. Why? Because when you open yourself to God, when you open your heart, it's like He gives you His set of eyes so you can see how it is in life. When you give yourself to Him, what happens is all that stress that you're going through, all that pain that you're going through, it's going to die down. Now, I'm not saying it's going to die down like that because that never happens. But sooner or later, it's going to die down. And when it does, it's only going to make you stronger. When all your pain and suffering ends, it's only going to make you stronger. And it continues right up again. Why? Because we're not here to live paradise. This is not paradise. This is earth. We're here to gain experience. We're here to live life. And live life on how God seen it. We're here to see His creations. We're here to be grateful every day that we're able to live, just to have a new experience every day, just to see what God has in store for us, And so every time you're going through tough times, every time you feel like God is not listening, always remember that He's there. Always remember that when it comes to finishing an exam, when it comes to studying for an exam, when it comes to even marriage, when it comes to having a boyfriend or a girlfriend, let me tell you, you can do anything through God. If you don't put God first, ain't nothing gonna happen. If you don't put God first, my brothers and sisters, I wish you good luck.
#facts. So, to piggyback off of that quote, while you're talking about faith and having strength and having the ability to handle stuff, this is one last quote before we end off here that I want to put out there. I saw this, one of my good friends posted this on Facebook or Instagram. I don't remember which one. But he posted this and it really hit home because I was like, this is something that really applies to myself and to everybody here. Faith doesn't always take you out of the problem. Faith takes you through the problem. Faith doesn't always take away the pain. Faith gives you the ability to handle the pain. Faith doesn't always take you out of the storm. The faith always calms you and guides you in the middle of the storm. So that quote that I clearly felt from the bottom of my heart was very, 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 very interesting. And I know it applies to a lot of people because a lot of people have had a lot of pain that's going on. And a lot of sorrow, a lot of, suffering that's been going on. And it's just very, very, very just terrible. But the faith that we always have has always helped us to give, to handle it. God has always given us the 100%, 1,000%, 1,000,000%, infinity%, so that we could be able to, take one step at a time and try to make all the negative things that we've had and put it into positive. So I want all of you guys that are watching right now to know the bottom line. And this is the bottom line. Have hope and have faith in God. Even though you're going through tough times, even the people that were most closest to Jesus also went through tough times too. So even though some may be similar, some may be gone through a little bit better, maybe some have gone through a little bit worse, always have hope in God, because if they were able to do it and they were able to get past it and do good things and great things for God, each and every one of you can also do it too. So, with that being said, I would like to thank all of you guys for tuning in. I would like all of you, to go right now to all your family members, give them a hug, and, say that you appreciate them, because a lot of people know this. Tomorrow's not promised. And we need to live now, and we need to live in the present. And we need to always live in the vision of eternity. Always be alive. So I want to thank all of y'all. I want y'all always to remember, #be alive. Catch you soon. We're going to be posting more details sooner rather than later on when our next live stream will be.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Have a blessed night. A lot of blessings, a lot of love. Thank ya. Peace out.